He does have this video called "They Will Buy the NBA and Nothing Can Stop Them." I feel like I already know what the fuck the topic is gonna be, but I want to see the explanation, and I just want to know more about this whole situation. So,
taking over the biggest sports in the world, and they will buy basketball next. Very soon the NBA may not be the biggest basketball league in the world, because a new league you have never heard of is coming, and very soon the best basketball players will play in that league instead of the NBA. No, I'm not talking about the EuroLeague, I'm talking about the SBL. Do not laugh, you are watching the most serious video in NBA YouTube history. There has never been a more dangerous threat to the sport of basketball than this new league. Watch this video until the end, and I will tell you exactly why
in his bag,
the NBA
man.
is in big trouble. The Saudi Basketball League. Right now, this league is terrible. Forget the NBA, forget even the EuroLeague. This Saudi league isn't even in the top 10, top 20 best domestic leagues. The best player in the Saudi league right now is a 35-year-old washed up DeAndre Liggins.
DeAndre Liggins?
Why
I remember that guy.
You watching believe it's the biggest threat to the NBA in decades? Because money talks.
Someone said to me that when you look at the richest men in the world, like they look at like Warren Buffett and Bill Gates and all those
George Soros, all those
billionaire
dudes.
characters, that they're not really the richest men in the world. That the real richest men in the world are these Saudi guys.
Yeah.
And a lot of these oil guys, but they're monarchs, and they don't have to disclose their wealth. So this dude who knows one of those cats was telling me that he's probably a trillionaire.
The amount of wealth in the Middle East is unfathomable.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie, bro. From what I know about those Saudi guys, they got bread. They got like a legitimately dangerous amount of bread.
Nobody can compete with the Saudis. They are buying every sport one by one.
Like it's
Let's
nothing.
talk about combat sports, because historically speaking, Las Vegas, Nevada has always hosted the world's biggest super fights. That is beginning to change. Francis Ngannou and Tyson Fury are about to have one of the biggest crossover fights in history, not in Vegas, but in Saudi. And if the Tyson Fury-Alexander Usyk fight for the undisputed heavyweight title ever happens, that will be in Saudi also. Did you know that the WWE has reportedly been bought out entirely by a Saudi investment fund? The UFC are regularly hosting massive cards in the Middle East. But it's not just combat sports, it's individual and team sports and even entertainment as well. Earlier this year, the Saudis bought golf. Literally, they bought the entire sport. The PGA Tour has traditionally been the biggest, till the Saudi-funded Live Golf came along and started offering some of the craziest contracts you'll ever see to the best golfers. Phil Mickelson signed a $200 million deal with them. Tiger Woods was offered around $800 million. It's crazy because this summer, Live Golf, which was originally started to be a competitor, ended up merging with the PGA like the NBA and ABA did to become one larger enterprise. Think about it, the first Live Golf tour was summer of 2022. It was founded in 2021, which means within 1 year, they merged with the most prominent professional golf tour that had existed unrivaled for a century. That's how quickly things can change for any sport, and the NBA is no exception. We are seeing it now more than ever in the world's biggest sport, football, aka soccer for my American viewers. Less than 1 year ago, the Saudi Premier League was irrelevant. I couldn't tell you who the biggest
Shout out to the 96 in the building, man.
Was it Odion Igalo? A guy who in NBA terms is actually pretty comparable to DeAndre Liggins.
Oh, damn.
He was an alright player, he played for some relevant teams, but was never at any point in his career a top player. At the beginning of this year, everything changed. A relatively unknown Saudi club called Al Nassr signed Cristiano Ronaldo for a deal worth $200 million per season. This is the biggest contract ever signed in the
$200 million per season, chat. 200. I ain't gonna lie, man. I swear to God, this money shit is so crazy, chat. Cause every single, like, I swear to God, every single year, more money is just being normalized, bro. And what I mean by that is, like, it felt like yesterday when an NBA player getting 10 mil a year was a crazy deal. You see what I'm saying? I remember playing 2K12, giving Kobe a max contract, giving him 15 mil a year and being like, yo, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Now we're in an era where there are rules, there is enough revenue, there is enough money going around for a guy, and this is no disrespect, I'm not trying to start this conversation again. But facts is facts, he's not a top 5 player in the league. A guy like Jaylen Brown is getting paid $300 million. $300 million. When it comes to the streaming shit, motherfuckers like Aiden, motherfuckers like XQC are getting paid tens of millions, with XQC hundreds of millions of dollars to make content. And now we're even taking it to a whole nother level, apparently, where people can be paid $200 million in 365 days. What the fuck? What the fuck, chat? That's insane. That is insane. It's kind of sad, but also it's kind of motivating to me as a content creator too. Just the money being out there, man, I ain't gonna lie. Let's get to the bag, fellas. Let's get to the bag.
In the sport, and in comparison to the NBA, which is one of the best paying sports leagues, Cristiano Ronaldo is making almost 4 times as much per season as the highest earning NBA player. That would be the equivalent of LeBron James going to Saudi. To be honest, on a global scale, it's even bigger. You could make a strong argument that Cristiano Ronaldo is the most famous man on planet Earth. He has the most social media followers of any athlete and any person. Name a famous person: Selena Gomez, Justin Bieber, Kim Kardashian, Drake, Ronaldo.
Who do y'all think is the most popular person on the planet right now? Who do y'all think is the most popular person? Ronaldo is up there, I ain't gonna lie. I used to be in my American bubble thinking it was LeBron, but apparently Ronaldo is just on a different scale. Donald Trump, disagree. I'ma disagree, especially now that he's not even the president. Disagree. Y'all think Messi's more popular than Ronaldo? Because I think all the social media numbers do point to Messi. Not Messi. Ronaldo being more popular than Messi. DeAndre Liggins is crazy. Yeah, I feel like right now it's either Messi or Ronaldo. Legend of winning. Yo, shaboing boing, bro. Shaboing boing.
Ronaldo has more followers than them. A lot more. Cristiano Ronaldo signed this contract well past his prime at 37 years old. So football at the time saw the Saudi League as an emerging retirement home for the game's biggest stars to collect a big payday at the end of their careers, like MLS or the Chinese League. What they didn't expect was what Ronaldo said in this infamous interview to actually come true.
Step by step, I think this league will be the top 5 leagues in the world, but
this summer, Karim Benzema, the current Ballon d'Or winner, which is football's equivalent to the MVP award, signed a similar $200 million deal with another Saudi club. He was the MVP of football. That's the equivalent of Joel Embiid leaving the NBA to go play in Saudi right now. Ronaldo's club Al Nassr signed Sadio Mane, the runner-up for the 2022 Ballon d'Or. That's the equivalent of
Bro said get ready to learn Arabic, Jason Tatum. No, that's crazy. Hey, shout out to you for the first time. Shout out to the first time chatters, by the way. I don't know how many first time chatters we got in this right now, but if you haven't chatted, chat up, man. Chat up. This is a welcoming community. Deadass.
NBA MVP runner-up Nikola Jokic leaving the NBA to go play in Saudi. And then you've got Neymar Jr., one of the 5 biggest sports stars in the world. He's 31 years old, in his prime, with much to offer the game. He signed with Saudi club Al Hilal and will make around $150 million a season. Look what else is included in Neymar's contract. He gets a private jet, a mansion with 25 bedrooms, 5 full-time butlers, a full-time personal driver, a massive swimming pool, 3 saunas, 3 supercars, and all bills and expenses paid by the team. Also, every time...
On top of the 150 million? Is that on top of the 150 million? What the fuck? And apparently, maybe I'm wrong, but apparently you don't even have to pay taxes in Dubai, bro. Or, I don't know if Dubai's in Saudi, but you know what I mean? God! Shout out to Medicom for the first time chat, but God! Jeez, man. Jeez. Now, I will ask y'all this, chat. Would y'all take that money? Would y'all take that money? I say that to say, because we had this conversation just a little bit when it came to, yo, should Kai sign with Kick or stay on Twitch? I think for us who have not seen that type of money, it is like motherfuckers that make $50,000, $60,000 a year. I'm gonna keep it a bean. I make 6 figures, but not a millionaire, not at all. It's easy for us to say, yo, bro, take that 30 mil on Kick and run, bro. Take that 30 mil on Kick and run. However, you have to consider that in these situations, that's not the case. We're talking about dudes who are already millionaires, arguably 100 millionaires. Not arguably, some of them are already 100 millionaires. And they are put in the conundrum of, yo, do you want to stay where you're at and take this safer route and still get paid a shit ton of money? Or are you just a bag getter? You want the biggest bag possible, and you will go to another country for that bag. You know what I'm saying? I feel like my stance on this has changed because of that Kai conversation as well. And just put into perspective, like, if this was me, and the 2 options is 100 million to stay in the United States, play in the NBA, or the other option is $300 million, even a year, to go to Saudi Arabia, play in a foreign country where I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I have to be in an area where I am just not familiar nor comfortable to be in this area. I am taking that $100 million and staying at home. Now that line gets a little bit iffy. I think the next follow-up question would be, what is that line? Because I feel like if the question is now, would you take $5 million a year to stay in the United States or go to another country and get $300 million a year, then I feel like it's a little bit different. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little bit different. If it's even $1 million, and $1 million a year is $1 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Would you rather be in your home country for $1 million a year and be in a place where you're comfortable, or go to Saudi for 2 to 3 years and make $200, $100, $300 million? And then, but I feel like at that point, the scenario is completely different. You know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting a $200 million a year deal if in your domestic league, your worth is $5 million. Like, does that make sense? Does that make sense? Like, the people who are going to get the $150 million a year contracts, that gotta be the Steph Currys of the world, the Joel Embiids of the world. And Joel Embiid would be like the floor. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Let's keep watching though.
When he posts about Saudi on social media, he gets a 500k bonus. Where in the NBA are you getting all that? I know it's easy to say, well, that's football. Trust me, the idea of the best...
Oh shit, Cabot TV, he calling you out. Hey, he calling you out, no cap.
footballers playing in Saudi is just as crazy to us Europeans as the best American basketball players playing in Saudi will be to you as well. Understand that in football, the best players have always played in Europe, just like in basketball, the best players have always played in America. That is beginning to change. I want you to take a look at this list of the top 10 highest earning footballers in the world. Only one player plays in Europe, Kylian Mbappe, and PSG, the club he plays for, is owned by a Qatari sports fund. In a matter of months, Saudi have come from nowhere and with its infinite pool of money have come for all the biggest names in the sport. And they aren't done yet, as it's been reported that the Saudis are looking to invest another $20 billion to bring the best football stars to their league.
20 billion?
The NBA comes into it. Last month, Kylian Mbappe was offered a historic one-year deal worth $700 million.
The fuck, bro?
Per
what
year.
the fuck?
Let's break down that contract. In 1 year, Kylian Mbappe would make almost double what LeBron James has made in his entire 20-year NBA career. Jaylen Brown, who just signed the richest contract in NBA history, would make just 8% of what Mbappe would make per year. How about this one? Kylian Mbappe would make more in 1 year than the entire NBA put together. I say Mbappe would make more, but he actually rejected this insane contract. Lionel Messi turned down $1 billion as well, but he at least got shares in Apple and Adidas. Kylian Mbappe might be the only man under 25 on planet Earth who can turn down that kind of money. Got offered damn near $1 billion for a 1 year vacation.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't blame them. I don't blame them because again, to be offered $1 billion, your worth gotta be arguably $1 billion. So with Mbappe, Mbappe is making $70 million a year. You know what I'm saying? Sponsorships probably make another $30 million a year. Same thing with Messi. Yo, bro, I'm going to work. At that point, I have the luxury of choosing comfortability and lifestyle over money, bro. Because money ain't a problem. Money is not a problem.
But back on the topic, when those figures started making headlines in the American media, NBA players took notice and responded in a way that has the Saudis licking their lips. LeBron James tweeted,
like that?
"Me headed to Saudi when they call Rich Paul and Maverick Carter for that 1 year deal." Draymond Green said, "They got basketball leagues too, right? I don't think the ink on my contract has dried up yet." Giannis Antetokounmpo tagged the team saying he looks like Kylian Mbappe and they should sign him. Yeah, you could say they're joking, but best believe the Saudis see this. And there's only one person to blame. Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Oh
He
shit.
hasn't stopped tweeting the Saudis, and after tweeting that him and Neymar are the best duo, the Saudi club finally replied to him with his own custom-made jersey.
Oh shit.
Perhaps a hint of what's to come in the future.
Nah,
And it
so
makes
it's
you
fuck
ask the
Giannis, bro.
question,
Giannis K.
what is stopping them
Giannis
from
K,
taking over
chat.
basketball the way they have every other sport? I'll tell you what's stopping them. Nothing. And that's why
shit.
it's going to happen. Look, I'm not here to comment on their motives as to why they're investing so much money in sport, but the country has been accused of sports washing to fix their reputation worldwide. Also, Saudi may have unlimited money, but they don't have unlimited oil. So something the nation is striving for is to diversify the wealth in their economy and not be so dependent on oil. Owning all of sport is a great way to make money. And that's exactly why the Saudi Sports Investment Fund is said to be worth over $600 billion. They want to become known as the home of all sports and will invest whatever it costs to make that happen. In order to do so,
Aren't they trying to make like a strip city or some shit? Like literally, oh shit. Literally a city that's like built in a wall and like the whole thing's walkable, bro. I sort of got I saw a video on that, bro.
they will have to tap into the American market at some point. and the NBA is the biggest American sports
The
league.
line, yeah, the
I
line.
know Americans think the NFL is bigger, but globally, basketball is a much more popular sport.
Yeah.
I'll put it like this. The NBA has more social media followers than the NFL and MLB combined. So if and when the Saudis come for an American sport, it will be the NBA. Now this is my prediction and a take that we will revisit further down the line and replay when it happens. Because I'm predicting that in the very foreseeable future, a big name basketball star will sign a historic contract to play in Saudi. I'm talking 1 year over $100 million type of thing.
Who do y'all think it's gonna be, chat? Who do y'all think it's gonna be? Who do y'all think it's gonna be? If it were to happen, low key, to me, it's either Giannis because of all the tweets that he's already put out, or it's gonna be like Luka or Jokic, bro. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not Luka or Jokic, because they might just go home. They just don't care about the shit. Giannis or... low-key, I was thinking it might be to, like a high-level prospect type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, if Victor... if there's like a Victor-level hyped-up player in 3 to 4 years, instead of going to the NBA, like Saudi might just offer them a big ass bag, and this dude is like, okay, for this 1 year, the NBA is gonna have to wait while I make $100 million in Saudi, and then I'm coming back home. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that would honestly make a lot of sense. Deadass shit. That would honestly make a lot of sense.
Who that player is, I have no idea.
Bronny
it could
James.
be anyone.
Hey.
Because if they can sign Cristiano Ronaldo, they can sign LeBron James too. Who I would keep an eye out for,
Look at that
though,
tan.
is
I'm just
big
tan.
name players towards the end of their careers. The perfect example of someone who would be tempted by the Saudi money is someone like Russell Westbrook, a former MVP now making $3.8 million a year. Hypothetically, if Russell Westbrook was offered, let's say, 2 years, $200 million from the Saudis, do you think he would reject that? We already got James Harden talking about going to play in China. He seems done with the NBA and everything that comes with it. Are you telling me that if Saudi money was on the table, James Harden at this point wouldn't take it? I think he would. The point I'm trying to make is whether it's Russ, Harden, or someone else. If that type of money is being thrown around to NBA players, someone will accept it. And what will end up happening in the beginning is that Saudi will have one megastar in a terrible league with no competition. I'm not joking, current Russell Westbrook would go over there and put up Wilt Chamberlain numbers. So once the Saudis make their first big splash, they will be tasked with improving the standard of the league, which the NBA has just made very easy for them because of this.
And this started with like James and Ben and all these guys doing this shit. It's bad for the league. This is why our CBA deal that we just signed, and I don't even want to get heavy into that. That's why you're seeing all these teams right now with, you either make 50 million or 2. It's the most lopsided contract teams. I mean, it's a joke, bro.
The latest CBA agreement is set up in a way that screws over the average NBA player. The NBA has salary caps.
That is kind of fair, I'm not gonna lie.
The Saudi Basketball League does not. They have unlimited money and no regulations in place stopping them from spending. So what they can and will do to improve the standard of their league is precisely...
Bro, so he mad getting 2.550. I'd be too, bro. Like, literally, if the system is set up in place, for like mid-level NBA players to not exist, I'd be fucked too, bro. Like, oh, come on, dude.
What they're doing in football. They start offering the underpaid mid-level guys superstar money. Austin Rivers, here's 2 years, 50 million. The ripple effect that ends up happening is now all the mid-level guys who are getting traded from city to city and on short-term contracts, they are going to start running to Saudi to get the quick bag. And trust me when I tell you, those figures I mentioned for Rivers are not out of the question. That contract is comparable to what Jordan Henderson signed. Someone who was a world-class player at no point in his career. In NBA terms, Jordan Henderson was never an all-star. but he is now one of the top earning athletes in the world.
That's crazy.
The Saudis can even accelerate the process of improving the standard of their
Alright. Allegedly, SLZ has been paid, man. That's to my guy Andrew. That's to my guy Andrew.
league by poaching the top guys in EuroLeague. The average EuroLeague player isn't even making $1 million a season. The top guys are probably making under $5 million. If the Saudis decide to take that approach, in a very short time period, the Saudi Basketball League will become the best league outside of the NBA. It will be easy for them to surpass the EuroLeague. Now these next two reasons are why and how Saudi basketball can compete and surpass the NBA. International players, particularly Europeans, have no reason to stay in the NBA if they can make more money elsewhere. Guys like Jokic, Giannis and Luka Doncic, they go to America to play in the NBA because the NBA is where the money is.
That's true. That's true. Keep it a stack. I feel like a lot of these international players, if they had an option to make the same amount of money, but just stayed home, I don't think they would have came to the NBA. You know what I'm saying? Because from what I've heard from like even Luka is like, yo, he loves playing for Slovenia in Slovenia. It's just, yo, bro, in the NBA, they can offer $100 million contract. Like, yeah, for the next 10 years, I'm gonna be staying over there. I'll come back though. I won't stay here. I don't really fuck with the culture over here, but I'll come back. If another league just comes out of nowhere, money talks. End of the day, man, money talks, and different people have different values. And when those different people are as valuable as these guys on the screen, shit gets interesting. Shit gets interesting.
You're not going to make $200 million over 5 years anywhere in Europe. Do you really think these European guys, like Nikola Jokic, who has a Finals MVP trophy and doesn't care enough to look after it, think he cares about legacy and all these other things we pretend is so important in the media? Is that going to be enough to deter them from going to Saudi and making more money closer to home? I'm telling you right now, it's not. European players don't have the same emotional attachment to the NBA as American hoopers do. Most of them aren't really even NBA fans because they didn't grow up watching the NBA because of the time zones. What happens if Saudi goes to Luka Doncic and offers him Kylian Mbappe money? Even if they offered half, maybe even a quarter of that, he'd probably take the money. So Saudi has an opportunity to get all the European NBA.
That is interesting too, because even in football or /soccer, the reason why a motherfucker like Mbappe would decline that shit is because he's playing for his home country, right? Like he's not playing in a foreign league. But for guys like Luka, like, all right, I literally came to this different country for bread already. It's the only reason I'm here, to be honest with you. Why wouldn't I do it again? Why wouldn't I do it again?
Stars, all the mid-level guys in the NBA, big name NBA stars at the tail end of their career, but most importantly of all, they can steal the best American players when they're young. See, the NBA is set up in a way right now where it isn't until year 4 or 5 where the best young NBA players receive big money. A lot of these guys are superstars in high school. Think about it. They have to finish high school, do a year in college, play
That's
4
what I was
years
thinking,
in the
bro.
NBA, sustain a level of play high enough for almost half a decade before finally receiving the bag in their early mid-20s. Think about this. Victor Wembanyama has been considered a generational prospect for at least 2 to 3 years now. It will be another 4 years until he is eligible for his rookie extension, which will be over $200 million. But for the next 4 years, the best prospect since LeBron James will make around $13 million a season. Unlike the NBA, the Saudi Basketball League doesn't have a one and done rule. They don't have a draft or salary regulations to abide by either. Therefore, there is absolutely nothing stopping them from going to the next Victor Wembanyama when he is 16 years old and offering him a supermax contract.
I'm good at this business shit, Chad. I'm telling you right now.
You look at all the G League Ignite guys who are bypassing the traditional path to make a quick bag. Scoot Henderson and Jalen Green, they got $500K each.
It's also interesting too, with this conversation because a lot has been made specifically this year about NBA players not really having pride in playing in America. You know what I'm saying? It's interesting. This shit is interesting, dead ass.
Saudi could blow the G League Ignite out the water.
Like,
Saudi
I'm just saying, like, that whole argument of, like, American players are gonna stay in America because they're nationalistic. I don't think it's as strong as it was even 10 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I feel like a lot of these people would just skip out on the, a lot of these players, excuse me, would just skip out on the Olympics, skip out on international play if it means resting up and getting the biggest bag as possible for the season that matters. So I feel like more than ever, essentially what I'm saying is I feel like more than ever, American players are going to be more willing to go to other countries. Not even just for bag purposes, but even from just the fact that they don't care about living in America. So
17 years old could offer them 2 years, $10 million. By default, they'd become the highest paying alternative to college basketball.
They might as well get you,
So getting the
Kobe.
best young American players to play in the Saudi League is actually very easy. The biggest challenge they'll be tasked with is keeping them around when they're of age to go to the NBA. And then it's as simple as paying them more money than they'd make in the NBA. Scoot Henderson is making $8 million next year. They can double, triple, quadruple. They can pay whatever they want to any of these guys. It's not even like they need to know ball to be able to scout the best young players. Just look at the McDonald's All-American team and sign all those guys. You're telling me they're going to pass up on Saudi money to go play in college for free? Do you understand what this does to the...
Yeah, no, it's, especially when they're young and they don't have that leverage point of a Steph Curry, where I'm making $100 million a year already, so why the fuck do I need to go to a different country? Yeah, we're talking about high school students from America who, I'm going to just keep it a bean, a lot of them come from not the richest backgrounds. You know, they come from households that don't make a lot of money every single year. And then just not randomly, but instead of going through 1 year of college or 1 year of G League Ignite, hoping you get drafted to the NBA and making $8 million, they just come to your doorstep. Yo, do you want $30 million a year out the gate, like literally next year? I'm taking that. What?
The NBA, how vulnerable they are to Saudi? The players' payment structure that's already in place would be annihilated. Because in order to keep the best young players in the NBA, they'll have to start giving rookies, college guys, max contracts. They might have to get rid of the draft. Because if the NBA isn't paying them, the Saudis will, and trust me, they can afford to do so. Probably the biggest deterrent that would stop a lot of these guys from going is leaving the United States to go play in the Middle East. But the possibilities for the Saudi Basketball League are infinite because the money is infinite. What is stopping them from doing exactly
But even
what they did
then,
with
even if they're from upper middle
their
class,
basketball league based in the United States? Forget creating an alternative to college. They could make an alternative professional basketball league and base it in the United States. That way you would have the NBA and this new Saudi-funded league,
SBA.
and the Saudi-funded league would pay the best players more money. If you're an NBA fan and you're not scared, you ain't paying enough attention. I mean, take a look at this. You got random fans handing out Rolexes when a player already making $10 million a year has a good game. When have you ever seen a fan in America or Europe do this? You don't, because it doesn't happen. I am predicting Saudi to declare war on the NBA in the next few years. Understand that everything I've talked about in this video, the Saudis have already done in other sports. And I don't think any sport or league, whether it be the English Premier League, the NBA, the PGA, I think every single one of them is in trouble because none of them can go band for band, M for M, heck B for B with the Saudis. No chance.
I ain't gonna lie, I fuck with the video though. I fuck with the video. I know, Kobe's is saying in the chat he's fear-mongering for views. But I'm gonna keep it a bean. He did bring up a lot of good points. From what I know at DKM, he is definitely pro European basketball type shit. and just oversees basketball way more than other creators. B4B is crazy too, by the way. B4B is crazy too. But that was genuinely a good video. I learned a lot about what the fuck is going on when it comes to, you know, Saudi and what they're doing in other sports, how that can relate to the sport I keep up with. And it's definitely going to be interesting how shit plays out in the next couple of years, how it'll affect the NBA. Because there's good cases to be made. There is good cases to be made. I know Cabby TV in the chat is saying whatchamacallit, that the real big question at this point is like, is Saudi interested? Honestly, we don't know. But if paying these players fits their global agenda or whatever the fuck they want to put on, I mean, and they got the money for it, why not let it fly? You know what I'm saying? Why not let it fly? I think the Saudi rush into green energy worldwide has Saudi shook because of their economic dependency on fossil fuels, so they're rushing to diversify their country's portfolio with sports and other investments so they don't become an antiquated economy. DKM did bring that up in the video, so that's a fair point. It's interesting. Definitely interesting. Shout out to DKM for the video.